What's going on, everybody? Me and the homie are back. This time it's Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And mind you, I did say Tyler Perry's, and I'm going to come back to that real quick. Guys, this is going to be spoiler filled. This film came out in 2005. I'm pretty sure you've seen it, but if you haven't seen it, that is your warning. Kimberly, how you doing, ma'am? How you doing today?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. I'm doing so good. So good.
But Brandon, this movie came out 20 years ago. Why in the world are you talking about it now? Have you never seen it before? Of course we have. But Tyler Perry just had a movie called Straw that was released on Netflix not too long ago. Some people liked it. I didn't care for it too much. I won't go down the rabbit hole. Just go check out my review. I was talking to Kim about it. And I was like, you know what? Tyler Perry flipping for coin. Some of his movies we like, some of them we don't like. You never know what you're going to get. So we're going to go and review, recap all of the Tyler Perry movies that we did like just for fun. And so that's what brings us here. Kim, this is number 5 for us, right?
I
Yeah.
think it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, we're doing this one. So that's one. We did Daddy's Little Girls, we
Yep.
did Good Deeds, and we
Good deed.
did Why Did I Get Married? 1 and 2. Family That Prays is coming, and also for Color Girls, this is number 5. And we're kind of doing it out of order of release date. So you can go and check those out. If you want, I'm pretty sure links will be in the pinned comments and the description. But Kim, are
The
you ready to get
poster.
into this, man?
Yeah.
What's up?
The poster's
It is.
hilarious.
It is. It is. Kimberly, what did you think about the film Diary of a Mad Black Woman? Actually, before I ask you that, the last time I saw this movie, I think was in like 2005, 2006. And I did enjoy it. I did see the play. I did see the movie. I will also say, Kimberly, the last 4 reviews that we did, it was consistent for me of saying that the beginning of Tyler Perry films are very difficult for me. They just don't start out the best, but once we get to the second act, I'm like, all right, I'm on board. I'm having fun. Let's do this. That's a different case. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And also, this is not directed by Tyler Perry. I thought it was. It is not. It is
Ooh.
directed by Mr. Darren Grant. And I did not realize that until I was rewatching it last night. I was like, oh, directed by Darren Grant. Who is this? Is that why the quality of the production is a little bit higher? The look on your face is killing me right now. Have you heard of this gentleman
I
before?
so didn't know what's in his filmography.
Recently, he did
Oh,
Duster
Queen of the
and
South? Okay.
Equalizer. Okay, yeah, I've never heard of this guy before. In all this time, all the past 20 years, I just knew that this was a Tyler Perry directed film,
Me
and
too.
so
Me
I felt
too.
kind of silly saying that. And to be honest with you, I also just got done watching that movie Ruth and Boaz that
Oh, yeah,
is
I'm watching
on
it tonight.
Netflix right now, and that was produced by Tyler Perry as well. It was not directed, and I will say that the quality of the production is a little bit better there as well. But anyway, going with this film, I did enjoy it. That's one of the things I noticed at the very beginning was the production quality. It was much better than Straw, but I wasn't struggling at the very beginning. I was enjoying myself. I'm a big fan of Miss Kimberly Elise right here. Very beautiful woman at that. And it's called
So
Diary of a Mad Black
handsome.
Woman. And I like her narration. I like the fact that we was kind of getting a diary, of her day in and day out. I don't write a diary. It's been recommended to me. It's always nice to record your exact thoughts and go back and revisit them later, or at least that's what I imagine. But
Mhm.
I've been talking up a storm. I'm passing it to you, ma'am. Journaling impressions of Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I'm assuming you liked it. Are you somewhere in between? Is this your first time seeing it, or did you see it when it originally came out? What you think, man? What you think?
You know what? I really liked it. I forgot how much I liked it, and I also forgot how funny it was.
Yes.
I think, being that this was in 2005, I know we were talking about how, like, when we were in college is when a lot of I know for me, because college kids are broke, we had bootleg copies of all the Medea plays, like, circulating around our dorm. So I know around 2003, I know I'm aging myself, but that's when I was in college, and that was when we saw the plays, and we were like, "Who is this Tyler Perry guy?" But then shortly after, I mean, he spread like wildfire. The
Hmm.
play, like so much, of the plays started spreading and people started talking about it, especially his target was, the chillin' circuit, the black church. And so, we talk and our dollar is good. And so, him coming out with a film was like a really big deal. And I'm not sure if this was his first feature film, actually. But being in 2005, I know it was right out of, okay, you've seen the plays. And I think that might have been some of the headline for the movie voiceover. You've seen the plays, now here's Medea on the big screen or something like
Hmm.
that. And I know that's how it was for me. So I was really excited to see this movie way back when it came out. Oh gosh, 20 years ago. Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I had such a good time. I forgot like about Medea and her gun. Like to be honest, I haven't watched anything Medea honestly in about 10 years.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I was like, "Oh yeah, this is so." I forgot about Medea's brother Joe, and I was like, This is funny." Like I laughed out loud several times, and sometimes I was like, "Oh, corny jokes, called a popo ho," But it's still funny, and the production quality was excellent. I'm proud to say I actually really liked Kimberly Elise's wigs in this. And I know me and my sisters always joke about the infamous Shamar Moore cornrows, but actually rewatching it, I'm like, you know what? It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Do me a favor, check that private chat. But you're right. You said one thing that you forgot how funny it was, and that's the case too for me. I laughed a number of times throughout this film, especially Medea. I actually forgot that she was in the movie. To besides, because I didn't look at the poster until afterwards. And when it comes to Medea, half of the with all of Tyler Perry movies, half of the Medea movies are like, half I don't. This is one that I do like. I just like stupid ish sometimes, silly, even if it's exaggerated. One thing that it made me laugh out loud a ton was this scene right here with the chainsaw. Now we know good and well that she did not rip whip out a chainsaw out of nowhere and cut through the whole house. But I laughed my butt off. It was funny. I had a good time with this. It was silly. It was stupid. It was over the top, but I had a good time, and I laughed a lot too with the gun thing as well. Even though that she doesn't have a holster, on her hip or her purse, it's funny. Going through shooting and doing this and doing that. I really did enjoy it, and also with this, I like with it being so silly and stupid. I like the fact that Tyler was able to combine drama and comedy in one. This is a dramedy, and a lot of people can't do that too well, and it can bite you in the butt and ruin the pacing. But that's not the case here for me because while we have silly scenes with a 9 millimeter or whatever the hell handgun it was, or a chainsaw, I mean, she was like the linchpin, the pillar in the community that everybody went to. Big Mama, the grandma, everybody having a family reunion at Medea's house or the barbecue. So I love that. It was very funny, and also, like I said, it had its crazy dramatic moments as well. So, but I have a question. I know neither one of us are married, but if your husband out of the blue, even if you knew that things weren't going the best, to say, you know what, I haven't touched you in a year, Kimberly. You stink, you're ugly, you're musty. Get out of my house right now, and literally drags you out of your multi-million-dollar mansion. And hey, I got a U-Haul for you. I got a Shamar Moore over there with some braids and a bandana and a full tank of gas. What would you do, man? How would you respond to that?
First of all, I'm like, um, let me see, would the cops have to get involved? Because that's a great. I'm trying to answer this without sounding crazy, Brandon.
No, sound crazy.
You put your hands on me, it's gonna be some smoke in the city. It's gonna be a thing. That would have been a fight for real, for real. You can't. Nobody's dragging me out of my house. But if I know things are bad and you do me like that, okay. Okay. And you don't have to say anything but a word because I will fight for you up to a point. But if you want to turn emotionally abusive and mentally abusive, then my fighting is going to have to be far from you and only to the Lord. That's how I will fight for you because I won't deal with somebody anymore that behaves in such a disrespectful and abusive way. I'll pray for you, but what she did, and I don't want to jump, but again, I will leave with what I have that's legally and rightfully mine, but I'm not going to fight you for more because my absence will affect you more because I know I'm a good woman.
Did you?
So,
I'm sorry, keep
but
going.
it would be somewhat of a fight.
Did you feel sorry for her?
I felt very sorry for her because I've actually it's so funny. You think about the kind of women like what kind of woman is afraid to be on her own? What kind of woman like doesn't know how to do anything? Like, what am I going to do without you? I can't do anything without you.
I'm so
Um,
glad you brought that up.
yeah, I grew up here in Orange County, like very wealthy, neighborhoods, and I've met many women that they've been with their husbands since right out of college, even some right out of high school, and lived a very privileged life, and they have never filled out a job application.
Mm,
They have
mm.
other than working at an ice cream shop when they're 16, they've never had a job. Now, mind you, keeping house and being a mother, being a stay-at-home mom is the most involved and hardest job in the world, which I believe qualifies you for many jobs. But the mentality of a woman that has been with someone for all of her adult life, there is a mentality of I don't know how to do this without you. And I think there's something to say about that is not pathetic. It's really you got to understand it with empathy. If you've been with a guy and then you just started having babies, I know she didn't have any children, but you've been a homemaker and you've been the woman of the house and you or a stay-at-home mom, you haven't been out in the workforce. Um, and especially if you've been living a privileged life, so you haven't really had to make it work. You haven't had to make a dollar out of 15 cents like many mothers and many stay-at-home moms and wives out there. I have seen it happen many times when there's been a divorce in my community or something where women have said, I I don't know how to work. And I do feel sorry for that kind of woman because that situation is very real. Of like, I don't know how to work. I don't know how to be in an office with people. I don't know how to, and it's not that they're think that they're better. They really don't know how.
Right, right, right.
So I felt for her. I
Okay.
did feel for her.
I'm really glad you said that because as soon as the film started off, I started thinking about a personal conversation I was having with my roommate at the time. We're still friends. Back in 2006, this film came out in 2005, and we were just talking about women that we were dating at the time. And I remember him saying, "Say, B, I'm just." He was telling me about somebody he's about to kick it with. He was like, "Say, man, all these women that I'm meeting lately, they own it. I done met this girl here at the union. She getting her doctor's degree. I met this one over here. She getting her master's. I met these two women a couple of months ago. They working on their third, fourth degree. Like these women are on it, bro. We need to step it up." And I remember I looked at them out and I compared some stories. So I'm like, yeah, man, they not waiting around. I mean, and it was a long, that was a while ago anyway. But I just remember a conversation that me and my friend in college was having about women just not, just and which is good, just not want to depend on men how I used to be a number of decades ago. And they're out here making their own money, doing this and doing that, making two, three, four, $500,000 a year. And so when I saw her at the very beginning and she was like, I have nothing and I don't know what to do, I'm just like, yeah, you can't, I think a lot of women may have saw this film and not just like all of them, but a good chunk and just probably
Many.
motivated them to be like, you know what? I ain't never finna be thrown out of my house. I can
And
do all bad by myself. Another movie we're
yeah,
gonna watch. And so
absolutely.
I did like that. That was very reflective on reality, at least for my taste. And I think you're right. I don't think pathetic is the right word to use. It's just she's never been in this situation before. You make a lifelong commitment. 18 years, that's a long ass time. You know,
And having everything in his name
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah. You
also
know,
a problem because because you're like, "Well, you guys have all these cars and you guys," and it's like, if as a woman, if you're not taking care of your paper in terms of the legal part of marriage, you are gonna end up like that.
hmm
Only his name should not be on anything, we've talked about this with the other films, about how you split things down the middle as shared, it's 50-50, all that, but
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
very real situation.
Yeah, and this guy right here, Mr. Steve Harris, I liked him. He did a great job of being
He
just an
did.
evil, conniving asshole that you just want to whoop. I see he was last in BMF. I don't watch that show. I know Lamont does. But yeah, man, just an evil villain in this film. Like, geez,
Mhm.
like, how can you treat your wife like that, bro? Like, that's just
Man,
insane to me. Like,
and with such hate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And about the film itself, I like the fact that it started out with him being an asshole. They didn't waste any time. I mean, within the first couple of minutes, you knew that their marriage was over for the most part.
Mhm.
I mean, you can just tell that's what Kimberly Elise was saying while she was narrating, while she was putting everything in the diary. But he did a good job. I forgot that I was a fan of this Mr. Steve Harris right here, but
Yeah,
good
I used
job,
to be in
sir.
private practice, yeah. I remember in the movie, like, I really hated him, like, but that's the mark of a good actor, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I hated him so much because he was so cocky and that
Yeah.
hoe he brought home, ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
it
And
made a lot of mad black women in the theater, I'll tell you that much.
I imagine bringing the woman in there. She's trying to be nice and take him. The thing about it was, okay, I'm not saying that if a woman just lets herself go, that's an excuse to neglect her and shun her. The reason why I'm saying that is we just got done watching Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2. And in that
Mhm.
film, Sheila was overweight. And Mike was very ugly about it. If that's the case, okay, you need to take your spouse like, hey, baby, let's go to the gym together. Let's go get
Together.
these steps together. Go to the grocery store together. Cook her food and be like, there's a number of things you can do. But
Yeah.
Kimberly in this, and I keep calling her Kimberly instead of her stage name. She was gorgeous. She was beautiful. I kind of wish we Helen, I'm tripping. I kind of wish we would have got a little bit more backstory on
Yeah.
where things went left, or negative, because I mean she looked real good. She cleaned up well. She wasn't ignorant. I mean, she seemed real sweet, real nice. Made your sandwiches, cut off the crust and all that, toasted the bread. I don't know. I don't know, but that's just it really bothered me, man. I just don't like
Yeah.
seeing people being taken advantage of the way that she was, and she was just so oblivious, to her surroundings. Brought in the other woman, emptied out all the closet and stuff. She
Oh god.
she thought that he was buying the clothes for her. I mean, damn, that's just a train wreck to the face.
And you know
You
what?
know.
I listen to, like, talk radio, like therapists and stuff, and you wouldn't believe how many calls like, I listen to, like, call-in shows. You wouldn't believe how much of that actually happens.
Yeah, I
It's
wouldn't. I
crazy.
wouldn't have thought.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because when I was watching it at the very beginning, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so dramatic." The music, dun, dun, dun. It was doing a good job, but then I was like, "Well, Brandon, this does happen. This is reality, and in some people's lives,
Yeah,
So,
it sure
kind
is.
of knocking it out the park right here. Um, Another plot point I want to bring up is I thought Tyler did a great job in this as well. As I was going to say widow father. His wife did not die; she was a drug addict, a divorcee,
Yeah.
and that was very emotional. While I did like it, I did
Mhm.
not think it was a necessary plot point for the story. And the reason why I say that is there's another subplot of not just Mike, that's not his name, Helen and Charles, and their downfall of the relationship. He's also attorney, the leading attorney in Atlanta, and he's trying to get off one of his old partners off of a murder. Now, when they started spending time there, I said to myself initially, like, well, okay, let me back up. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. I know. I'm gonna bring it back home. Before I rewatched this film, I remembered that he got hurt, Charles, and I remembered that Helen, his wife, Kimberly Elise, went back and was nursing him. But I
Yeah.
couldn't remember the exact reason why he got hurt or how, you know.
Yeah.
And so when I was rewatching this last night, and they were spending so much screen time on this subplot with Charles's client, the drug lord or whatever, I was like, why are they spending so much time here? This has nothing to do with Medea. It has nothing to do with the marriage. But then it circled back around as that is the reason why he got injured because he shot him in court. And I was like, oh yeah, I couldn't remember if he had cancer or had a car accident. I just couldn't remember why he got hurt. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how that circles back around. So I like how that tied into the overall story of you treated your wife like crap. Now you need her. Your new boo is nowhere to be found. And hey, what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. So I like that subplot. But even though I did like the subplot with Tyler Perry and his wife being a drug addict, I didn't think it was necessary. Am I tripping, or do you agree somewhat?
No, yeah, I think they were really trying to fit something else in there. Probably, and sometimes I think that happens with writers where there's a whole movie you want to do, but you just can't get the funding. So maybe you think, you know what? Well, maybe I'll just put kind of that subplot into something else and try to tie it in so I can still tell that story. And to me, that's what it felt like. It felt like I think you wanted to do a whole movie about a really great mom that starts doing drugs and becomes a junkie, but one thing at a time, right? So um, that's what it felt like. I understand he wanted to be in there as Tyler Perry, not as Tyler Perry, but not Medea, just Tyler Perry acting.
Hmm.
But I just felt like it would have been better if it was like a couple and she was acting a little funny and he started noticing, hey, why are you taking these pills? And then had like a kind of bring down the drama of it. Not so much a junkie on the street that your daughter has to see off the sidewalk and be like, there's mom. But maybe like, oh, I have a problem. And then going to church and being like, I'm going to surrender this to God. Just take the drama down a little bit because that was a whole nother movie that they
Yeah,
tried to kind of squeeze in there. Um, but
it was.
yeah, and I
No,
think he
my
oh,
fault. I keep
go,
cutting you
go,
off.
go. Go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna say it was a completely different movie, and I'm looking at Tyler Perry's filmography right now because he does have a movie with that whole plot. I think it's a Tyler Perry movie. I could be looking at it right here. I can't remember exactly because we're gonna be talking about this one too. But it's with the black guy. All the movies that got black people in it.
That
What is
one
it?
black guy.
Antoine Fisher, the guy that played Antoine Fisher. Wasn't
Oh,
he in the Tyler Perry movie to where his
Eric
wife?
Luke?
Yeah, Derek Luke.
That's my
Wasn't Derek?
boy.
Yeah, wasn't
I
Derek
love Eric
Luke?
Luke.
It wasn't Derek Luke in a Tyler Perry movie, where his wife or something like that was a drug addict. I could be tripping. People are probably trying to rip me to shreds in the comment section. I could be wrong, but if I remember, I can come back to that. But
I
you
think
know,
are you thinking of the one with Brandy where she ended up being, like, getting AIDS because she wanted to, like, have a
Brandy,
saucy,
Brandy,
um
Brandy.
the chat's like, "Are y'all high?"
Yeah, I don't know. We can move on. My bad. Let us know in the comment section. Hopefully, hopefully, you haven't clicked off at this moment. But what did you think about Tyler Perry's wife though in their relationship? I mean,
I
he
really,
kind of
what,
kicked her out the house, and
that young lady, I really liked her. If that was a movie,
I feel so silly.
I would probably see it. I That seemed like a good movie to me. It seemed like a side movie, like a whole plot, but it actually there was some meat there for something to be more fleshed out. I thought, what a beautiful woman, by the way. Her eyes, my God, those doe eyes are beautiful.
Hmm.
But I think he just really wanted to kind of something I didn't like that he did. I think making jokes off of other films that we've all seen and know, like Harpo, who this woman? I think that's hilarious. But I think trying to completely and totally recreate scenes from movies you like is kind of corny. And so he wanted that color purple moment,
Hmm.
that is that color purple moment where the woman walks into the church singing, God's trying to tell you something. Like he wanted that moment and he copied that, I feel like, and I feel like he kind of copied soul food a little. And so I kind of don't
You're talking about towards the end of the film, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
like when
yeah,
she came in the
right.
church and was like singing,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously that's straight from Color Purple. Like I like homages, but I get a little irritated when people are like, I like that so much, I'm gonna do the same thing. I don't like that in film. So I think he kind of just put her in there to do that. And
Oh,
that annoyed me a little just to have an opportunity to be like, how can I have a redeeming moment where somebody walks into a church and starts singing and blows everyone away and then has a redeeming moment just like Suge? Like, that's how I felt.
I'll give you
But
that.
if
I'll
it
give
was
you
a
that.
separate series or something, I would watch it because I liked her acting, like, I'm like, "You're really" she did play a drug addict, like,
Yeah,
really well, and,
she did. She did.
the struggling husband with 2 kids, like, that's real too. Tell the stories of men who are holding it down, you know? So
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's how I felt.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I didn't think about that about the Suge and comparison and the color purple. You was just saying, okay, what can I do to have a redeeming moment here at the end? I agree. I still liked it though. I loved it. Um, just also the relationship that he had with his daughter. Man, I want to
Yeah.
sing in the choir. Daddy won't let me. 12 years old, and he's like, "Hey, man, music is what sent your mom down the wrong path." Finally, lets her up there. I don't know why, but the little his little daughter had the ponytail, like throughout the whole movie. But then at the end, when she was singing, her hair was out. I mean, it was just a gorgeous display of talent and
Yeah.
praising the Lord. I mean, I felt everything. I loved it so much, Kimberly, that when I was watching it, and then by the time, let me bring it up because I got it ready. Hold on, hold on. By the time that Tamala popped up and started singing
Yeah.
her voice, I was moved.
Yeah.
I pressed pause and rewound it to the beginning of the scene and not cut on my surround sound because I wanted to hear it again. I was just like, I don't remember the words, but I was like, yes, yes. And then the mama
Yeah.
came in there, I'm free of drugs. Yeah. I was like, I'm clean. I was like,
Free, look at my arms,
I just didn't care.
yay!
I felt great. I was like, Tyler Perry,
Yeah.
he is knocking us out the park right here. You know, this is a lovely way to end the film. You know, so
Yeah.
I liked it. You know, it was an extra subplot that was not necessary, but at the same time, you know, and with some film, I don't care. I just want to have a good time and be entertained, and you know,
Yeah.
it really does not matter to me, you know. But I'm very, very curious on how you feel about this character right here. Mr. Shamar Moore. Yes. I like Shamar Moore.
I like him.
I'm a fan of his work, Mr. Orlando. And he worked at a I think he was a
Like
no,
a factory?
yeah, factory. I was gonna say mechanic, but he wasn't a
I don't
mechanic.
know why I thought his character was a bus driver. I don't know why I
That's
thought
another
that.
Tyler Perry movie, I
Is
think.
that another one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. But what did you think about his character? I'm very, very curious.
I really liked his character, and I really liked that he showed the character of a sensitive Black man that truly loves because I think, like because I you and I have talked about, like, how one of the reasons we like Tyler Perry is he showed different like, just Black people in different scenarios, like, not your typical, like, like Terry in Why Did I Get Married? Like, he wants to make his marriage work. He's on this retreat, and he wants to hold his wife's hand. Like, I think in Black movies, we've seen too much of the cheater. There's always a cheater, there's always someone that's not paying child support. There's always, so it was really nice to see different types of Black men. And I've had this conversation with other people before about just Black film and why representation matters, because I think you don't see that enough of a sensitive man who's a romantic. I think that's another thing, like what he said about, like, I carry you in my soul. When you smile, I smile bigger. Like, he's a romantic. Like, you don't see a in film just a romantic guy that is an honest, like, not a liar. Like, she's like, "Oh, why didn't it work out with your girl? Did you do this?" And he's like, "Actually, she left me for a football player." I like that he showed a different kind of guy that does exist out there, because I know at that time, at any time, us women, we need to be reminded, like, because it's easy to go, that man doesn't exist. And that's the problem. is you see that and go, I don't see that because you don't see it enough. So I really appreciated that. Shamar Moore was a old school love, romantic, sensitive, hardworking. He had a job. He was working side jobs. Like that guy exists. And I thought I was thinking Shamar Moore, like I wish he's done. I know he did The Brothers, but I wish he did more movies. I hope he does more movies. Like when the quality is really great in Tyler Perry films, I hope he does another Tyler Perry film that has a great plot, great wigs, great continuity, and great production value. But I want to see more Shamar Moore. I'm actually so happy that Shamar Moore is on SWAT. I'm so happy that his career that he didn't just become like someone we knew in the 90s and then like, oh yeah, where is that guy? He's as fine as he is, much like Halle Berry. Like his yes, your looks precede you, but at the end of the day, he's a good actor. And a lot of time with super, super, super fine guys, you don't get that. I mean, now we have more of the Aaron Pierres, and it's like you got all the gifts, but it's really not. I love this film for him. And honestly, now that I look at it, the cornrows weren't that bad. It just was
Mm,
kind of random.
mm,
But like, I just
mm.
I loved him. I loved him in this film.
I feel exact opposite of you. Oh my gosh. What a shocker. Man, if you don't get this fairy tale, never oh golly. This was first of all, I
Brandon.
like Shamar Moore. I like Shamar Moore as an actor. I think he's very, very talented. But his character in this was like, and mind you, I'm watching this with a different lens too, because this is, if it came out 20 years ago. Also, before I give my full commentary, there's always that stereotype with Tyler Perry is like there's always a light-skinned guy that comes in and saves the day, or at least I've heard that. And you have Charles, who's dark-skinned and
Mhm.
which of course nothing's wrong with that, but he's the evil dark, this evil but then you have this knight in shining armor that's an angel, Shamar Moore, pretty boy, light skin. I don't know, just something I noticed, and I just remember jokes I heard in college and coming up just coming up. I didn't like his character. Like I said,
Really?
simp level 9,000. The fact that he was begging Helen for her love and affection, I just thought that was too much. I thought that the romance was cute. I like the montage at the beginning where they're at the lake under the tree and their arms are around each other and they're walking on the side of the street and he picks her up
I
and puts her on a
love
thing and
that.
you had the music. And mind you, the soundtrack in this film was dope. I love the
It was
Tony
really
Braxton.
good.
I love the Patti LaBelle and all that. We can talk about that later.
Oh, yeah.
But and it was cute. This is a fantasy, and I'm not saying that good guys don't exist that are sweet and emotionally intelligent and know how to communicate and have the abs and the
Brandon.
muscles and stuff like that. But he was getting on my nerve, panda, panda, panda. First of all, he just kept popping up everywhere. And I like the fact that the script did call that out. Like, okay, are you stalking me now? Can a brother eat? Or this is my church too. I go here as well. Or am I getting another movie mixed up? So that was cool at first, but then after a while, it was just like, yeah. And she said it herself, like this town is too small, So it was really convenient, but at least they addressed it. But after a
It's almost
while,
like
man,
women don't mind being stalked as long as he's fine.
yeah. She was like, ever, it's been 3 months since me and Charles have split. And or it was no, she said it was been 3 months since something. And we have been together. No, I don't remember exactly. It was 3 months was something. And then she said we've been together every night since then. And then later on, Kim, he proposes to her while she's still married, knowing that the divorce is weeks away. She was in court and she was, hey, he can have everything. I don't want it, the prenup, all that. And Tyler was like, hey, can I talk to my client? And he's like, you sure you deal with it? And Charles over there celebrating. Judge like, okay, we'll sign all the paperwork in 30 days. And it already been a few months. And so he can't wait any longer and going to propose. She leave. Then imagine proposing to a woman, and right as you're waiting for your answer, she sees something on TV. Oh, I gotta go, and then she goes back to her ex-husband who kicked her out of the house. And this is not some street. No, this is not some store you heard on the grapevine. He was there outside packing up the truck. He saw her getting thrown out.
You got put out, woman.
And at the end of the movie, when she came back, I haven't heard from you. It was either 4 months or 4 weeks. I can't remember if it was 4 months or 4 weeks, but I do know that it was. I think they was dating for 7 months because I remember a 3 month and a 4 month thing. But
Yeah.
he proposed and she disappears for 4 weeks or 4 months. And oh, I'm just like you whack, bro. And I had a bad breakup and I deserve more and I deserve love and I deserve you. Come on, don't go back, please. Love me, please.
You're such
That is
not
whack as
a
hell.
romantic.
Is
Boo,
that
I
not what
say.
happened? Is that not what happened?
Boo, Brandon. You're not a romantic. No, that's like word for word what happened. But it was
I guess,
romantic.
man. I guess.
No, but
Well,
I think that the this film, like, I think we do have to touch on, like, okay, godly people of God, you shouldn't be dating when you're going through divorce. Like, wait till you're actually divorced to start another relationship, bruh. You're engaged by the time you sign the papers, like, the timing,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a that's a bit much. And yeah, and just leave married people alone in general. Like
Yeah,
even if they say,
absolutely.
"Well, I haven't spoken to them or seen them in a year,"
I do not care.
we've signed the paper. No, is it final? Hey, if you got to
Divorced is
block them,
divorced and married
block
is
them.
married.
Yeah,
Married and
yeah.
not talking, married and not having sex, married and not communicating, married and not living in the same house is still married.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. All right. So, oh, yeah, I just thought about something from a long, long time ago. One of the scenes I really did like towards the beginning of the film is when she was in the restaurant by herself. And she was looking at all the other couples, comparing herself.
Yep.
That was a nice reflective moment. Rest in peace, Cicely Tyson.
Yes,
Love
I
her to death.
loved her in this
Yeah.
movie. I so loved her.
Yeah, this was I think it was this one and the Medea's family reunion are my favorite cameos of her popping up in the Tyler Perry film.
Yeah.
One because she checked her family for twerking in the family reunion movie. I
Oh,
remember that
yeah,
one.
I remember
But
that.
this one she just had that good advice, that good wisdom, that
Yeah.
experience of life and was just trying to pass that down. Didn't judge her daughter, but was honest with her,
Yeah, and she had such great just watching her hug her daughter, I felt like hugging my mom, like, and that's, like, great acting. That's how you know you're a fantastic actor. She just brought that mom love, and it's like, what daughter doesn't wanna go to your mom and just, like, puddle into her lap and be like, "Give me wisdom, give me a
yeah,
hug." Like,
yeah.
I don't care how old you are, you always need your mom.
Yeah. She said something, don't close a door until don't open another door until this one is closed.
Yes, and that was
Um,
wisdom. She shouldn't
yeah.
have done
Also,
that.
yeah, also at the table, what did she say exactly? It just, just don't block God's blessings. I don't remember. It was a bar. I'm sorry. I'm, please forgive me. I just know that she had a very strong impact for me, at least while I was watching this.
Yeah.
But what about you? Is there any other standout moments to you, or did you or is there anything that you just did not like that just kind of rubs you the wrong way, or anything you want to get off your chest?
Um No, I really like this. I really like that, the transformation of her husband coming to the point of apology because she did make him sorry.
Yeah,
I like that they showed that period of bitterness because I think when you're a believer, you do want to forgive so quickly because the word says so and because you wanna be right with God, but then there you struggle with your flesh. She was there, but she also ate right in front of him and was like, "Oh,
yeah.
uh,
I
plate of
love that.
food, hate to see you coming."
Yeah,
Like, like, and the way, man, I don't know if you laughed, but I felt bad for laughing. But when she rolled him into that bathtub and he was like, "Ah," I was like, "Oh, that was so mean," but I can't stop laughing. That was so mean.
yeah, yeah,
But that's how I think that's very true to a believer and the process of forgiveness. It's not all like, "La la la, I forgive you." It's like, "Look, I'm here. You know what? I don't even wanna
yeah,
talk to you. I'm just gonna walk out and
yeah,
let you sit for a couple days."
yeah,
Like, that's very real. It's
yeah.
not nice,
It's
but
not
it's
nice.
very the process of forgiveness, it's actually very real. So I really appreciated that in this film. I again, Medea and Joe were so funny. Forgot how funny they were. the dynamic between her and her husband and the forgiveness, but also I love that she walked away at the end and was like, "I'm so glad we're good." And I think it is the wifely thing to do in terms of biblical wife, if not caring for him specifically, like bathing him yourself, like if you divorce and something happens to your husband, or you're going through divorce and something happens to your husband, I think it is biblical. Like if you're not bathing him and putting his bandages on, at least I think it's godly. Like at least call the nursing company, the hospital, set him up with a caregiver. I think that was a godly thing to do instead of just walking away. Because I mean, the man got shot. I personally would have just called a caregiver. I wouldn't have done it by myself after what he did. But I thought that was a really great example of just marriage and how sometimes even though it's rotten, you still got to do the right thing so you can look yourself in the mirror and do the right thing and honor God. If not so much like I'm not honoring you, I'm not doing this for you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's a real feeling.
I was
So
mad at
I liked it.
I was mad at Helen for taking care of him. I mean, I know that is your husband, but the way he just threw her out like that, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy. I can be petty sometimes. I'm not perfect. I need to mature. But I really did enjoy her eating in front of him and then throwing the plate at him. That was dope as hell.
I mean,
I
he got his girl in front of her and replaced her clothes in the closet. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not okay with the slap though.
that was
Especially,
crazy.
I mean, it's funny. I'm not okay with this slap, but at the same time, the slap in the family that prays was satisfying to me. I may have to sit back and think about that. And the flipping in the bathtub, I
That was
like it, but I don't.
crazy.
I like it, but I don't like it. Like, cause I mean, at first I was cool. I mean, cause he could have hit his head and
She could have
on the fire
killed
and killed him.
him.
You know what I'm saying? But then she
100%.
let she left him under the water for a little bit too long. You know, like I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Like, I mean, he deserved it, but at the same time, he didn't deserve it. Like, you don't need to be torturing and killing people. She didn't kill him.
Yeah.
But he committed adultery. So that is every reason why you should divorce. I mean, I think biblically that's the only valid reason God will allow you to divorce if somebody commits adultery, let alone has children. She had two miscarriages.
That's awful.
That really sucks. But I'm so glad that she pulled out the divorce papers at the end and made him sign it. I'm also, even though I don't agree with it, I'm glad that they showed Helen trying to make the marriage work.
Mhm.
Because it's a lifelong commitment under God. So, but he committed adultery and literally threw her out the house. And so I'm just kind of like, I'm over begging people for acceptance and stuff.
Yeah.
So but last thing real quick, I just have to say the wig that Shamar was wearing Orlando was hilarious. His hairstyle stayed the exact same throughout the whole movie. Guys, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to our Diary of a Mad Black Woman recap review. Had a lot of fun rewatching this 20-year-old movie.
Yes,
And we
yes.
have more coming down the pipeline. We got A Family That Prays,
Yep.
For Colored Girls, and maybe one more after that. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I didn't mean to do that. Let me bring that back up. If you're watching this on my channel, please subscribe to Kimberly's channel. And if you're watching this on Kimberly's channel, please subscribe to my channel. We will both really, really appreciate it. But guys, we just want to thank you again for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget, I'm B. Avery. That's Kimberly, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.